What you had there is seems like a sports shirt that says titanium. So that's a silicone.
Right.
Well, see, there was a piece of the appendix that
Let's start with this. This is an Egyptian statue. Now, you can clearly see that it's coated with a layer of something that I'm going to call putty or concrete or actually granular little bits and pieces of material glued together that constitute this mold over the top of what is quite obviously a mummy. And this is the wrapping of the mummy. It's clearly seen. Now, I'm going to show you something from Brien Foerster's video right now. This is a Brien Foerster Lost Ancient High Technology Egypt 2017 update, Tanis and Aswan. Now, listen to this. You're going out looking at. He's asking some good questions. I'm going to stop it as he goes here and there. But if you understand the colors of mud fossils, you're going to see these red sort of things bleeding out. This is literally from life. And so is this. These leaching things are from blood. Now, you see this? That was this guy's leg. This is his foot. That is arterial, vein blood. The black is from vein. Right? It's expended blood. It's FeO2. It's hard. The red is a more of a loose or substance. It makes red ochre. It makes red sandstone. Old red sandstone, pipestone, all of that stuff. Now you'll see he's wondering, why is this like running off here? It's literally bled from the vein. That doesn't normally happen a lot, but this is a huge structure, and it somehow liquefied itself inside. Once they stabilize the black, normally it's pretty hard. The red is different. The red hydrates easily and it comes out. But that's why it's open here. So let's watch this. I say, he said, look, it looks melted. Why is this? Well, it's melted. It's running out of there. It's literally a liquid that oozed out. Now we're coming to the head of the statue. Now you can see his ear. Literally, something is leaking out of his ear. You're going to see patterns of living tissue. And you're also going to see that this is just molded over the surface of whatever this guy was when he was alive. So let's continue to watch. Here's the killer right here. Those are his ribs. You see that? This is his lungs. You see that? I think that's his liver. His kidneys or something down in here. It's some kind of an organ. That's his chest. The muscles of his chest. Then they coated him with some kind of thing, and then they put this coating over the top of him so that he would apparently achieve immortality. But he's asking the right question. Very strange weathering. Well, yeah, it's strange if you don't understand that it was alive. This is exactly. You can get DNA from this. No question whatsoever. Even Harvard, Max Planck. I sent my stuff about DNA. Nobody did any DNA. It doesn't last, so nobody even did it. So I decided, well, my stuff is real. I'm going to go ahead and have the DNA done, because I knew inside, deep enough, you go inside here, you're going to find blood, which blood has a characteristic they don't understand either, which is called chelation. Chelation is the blood molecules themselves contain these transition metals, and they surround themselves with little molecules that keep them like inside of a rubber bag. They're called ligands, and you can only crack those open with acids. So as long as you don't hit them with too much acids, and you keep them in a pH 7.2, 7.3, 7.4 in that area, they will literally never go bad. The DNA, it's going to stay in there literally forever. And they found this.
These are the bits and pieces of one of the largest sculptures ever created on the planet. That is a finger. This is the kneecap. There you see the feet, and there you see the torso. The weight of the sculpture is estimated as having been 1,000 tons when it was in one piece. The quarry is 200 kilometers away, and so the block from which it was carved would have to have been at least 1,200 or 1,400 tons. The question is, was it carved in place in Aswan and moved here, or was the block moved here and then carved? And we are reasonably far from the Nile, so how was it transported 200 kilometers? So there are his toes, and here is a smaller statue next to it. And the next step is to actually climb up on top. Yeah, I see. Okay, yeah.
So this is the biggest pedestal in the whole world. And this is, in my opinion, weighing around 500 tons. One solid piece of granite, rose granite.
You see 500-ton base on which possibly a 1,000-ton sculpture rested. Here are his toes.
The only thing was done in that time. There was so many things in other places. So we need 5,000 there, 5,000 here, 5,000, that's not 5. So the whole nation will be busy just pushing and dragging the stones, which is not convincing.
But pushing and dragging is one thing, then lifting is
lifting.
another.
So this is the Colossi of Memnon, 1 and 2. And Tony's here in front to give us a sense of scale. The material used to make these is quartzite, which is very hard. The term quartz should give you an indication of the hardness of it. And the stone came from Cairo, which is 400 miles away. They are conservatively estimated at weighing 1,000 tons apiece. And what's most intriguing is the fact that with this one, you see it's made of multiple pieces. But this one, even though it has many cracks in it, etc., it appears to my eye that this is a solid piece of stone on a huge base. So if the stone was brought from 400 miles away, and it's quartzite, which has the hardness at least that of granite, how did they move it here, and how did they carve it? Because the dynastic Egyptians were a Bronze Age culture. They did not have steel or iron or diamond equipment.
much for pussyfooting around. This thing was a reptile. It's the biggest statue on the face of the planet, and this guy was a reptile. You look at this face, and I'm telling you, this is a reptile. Now, these are like, look at these features. I can tell you the colors are pretty close to what a human person would be, black and red and the rust colors. Those are the colors of blood transitioning from arterial blood to vein blood. Now, watch this. This is his head. Now look down here. You see that? Those are reptile scales or some kind of body armor. At first I thought it was his, his insides and his guts and all this, but look at them. These are they're overlapped scales. If you look real careful, you can see it. And they come up and they come up, and they're little overlapped scales everywhere. Now, his body fluids are leaking through there, and some of them have obviously fell off here, a lot of them, at some point in time, but it appears to me that these are scales, and they run right up his neck. Look. This is right up his neck. You see that? Now, it's as close as I can get, but to me that looks like scales. Now, you have to make your own decision on this, but to me I'm saying that's scales. And I'm saying that guy's head is a reptile head. Now, you could make any decision you want, but to me that doesn't look like a normal nose, and this looking thing here is very strange. This eye socket like this here is very strange. I think, now, you see that? To me, that's pretty darn close to the same guy. A nasty looking nose, a little smudgy mouth, and that kind of deep angular, and this kind of scaly looking stuff. And which I believe that other one had underneath, if you look careful. That one bubbled up, but they somehow plastered them over, or they were shapeshifters that could stabilize in that form. I have no clue. No clue at all. But I can tell you what I see. And so they made these statues in that way for some reason, and I have no clue why. But it should be investigated. And I think it'd be nice to investigate. It's interesting. But it's been overlooked, and that's all I have to say. So go to Mud Fossil University. I'm going to do all kinds of good stuff.